Jimmy G did a limited passing. Yeah. He was quietly efficient in that. And then they got to the Super Bowl, and he needed to make a couple plays, and he couldn't make it.
This is what I think.
He's a very average NFL quarterback.
I think.
I'm not a Jimmy G guy. I don't think he's very good. I can't wait.
But here's the thing. What do you do with him?
Get rid of him.
Why when he's winning?
You have Trey Lance.
Trey didn't look good. Trey,
he's gonna develop.
He looked like a raw prospect.
Yeah, but he's gonna develop. He's gonna develop.
Maybe. Who's telling you? Who knows he's definitely going? We know what we have in Jimmy,
and it ain't good enough.
How you know? He's gotten to a Super Bowl,
and he wasn't good enough in that game.
But he got to the Super Bowl. Everyone's not going to be to the Super Bowl.
Is the goal to get
Patrick
to
Mahomes and the Chiefs?
Is the goal to get to the Super Bowl to win the fucker?
Well, goddamn,
to win it.
How many quarterbacks haven't been?
It's to win it.
How many quarterbacks? You got Lamar Jackson. You got the guy in the Chargers. Like, you have these guys who are heralded as great quarterbacks who can't even win a playoff game. Hell, Justin Herbert can't get to the playoffs, but he's all top 3 quarterback in the league. You know, Jimmy is succeeding.
Mark Sanchez made it to like 3 AFC conference title games.
Mark had a decent run into the butt. After the butt fumble, he was useless.
The butt fumble simply revealed what was there all along. Here's the deal.
Listen, man, Jimmy makes some plays sometimes.
Very few. They did not trust him.
They didn't.
In the Chiefs game. They didn't trust him most of that playoff run.
That's a coaching flaw.
No, it's not.
A guy gets you there, you ride him. Fuck it. You lose, you
lose.
Okay, but you lose without trusting him. What does that show you as a coaching staff? You fucked yourself. That's what that shows you.
It means you need to get a better quarterback.
Do what gets you there.
They couldn't.
They could. They didn't call it.
They know, because if you look at that playoff run that they got to the Chiefs Super Bowl, they ran the snot out of the ball in all the playoff games.
And play action.
Jimmy G did a limited passing. Yeah. He was quietly efficient in that. And then they got to the Super Bowl, and he needed to make a couple plays, and he couldn't make it.
This is what I think.
He's a very average NFL quarterback.
I think he's above average. I think he's over the – I think he is in that – no, I'll give you that. He's in that group. He's in that group that we talk about on a regular basis, the Goffs and the whatever, you know, that group of guys. The guy that's in Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, he's in that group. He's in that fishbowl. But I think Jimmy is near the top of that bowl. I know you don't give a shit about any of those guys.
I don't.
But
but you are either average, or you're above average, or you're out of the league. And he's just average. And they had a very strong team around him when they got to the Super Bowl. They have a strong team around him now. And he's not doing a lot of heavy lifting. And when you look at the 4 guys left in this,
he's the weakest guy.
He's hands down the weakest guy.
He's the weakest guy.
That's simply what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you can't – they will do themselves a disservice if they – I mean, they drafted Trey Lance for a reason.
They drafted him for a reason, but
because they know they don't have that dude.
But you have a Super Bowl team right now. You're gonna roll with a guy, second year in the league, who's not ready.
Time out.
He's not
ready.
Time
out. They're not rolling with him. They're going with Jimmy G.
No. I'm talking about next year.
Next year, you got to be ready to move on.
No, man.
And it is hypocrisy for you to sit here and not agree, because that's exactly what your team did.
Alex Smith. Now, Jimmy G is not Alex Smith. Alex Smith had to fucking go.
Jimmy G's got to go.
No, man.
Hands down. Your team did the same thing, and what it did.
We had Mahomes.
And what it did was elevate your whole team to a new level.
I'm going to hold on. Pink, this is a good example, but it's a bad example. We saw Mahomes in his rookie year. We saw Mahomes 3 games in his rookie year. We have seen Trey Lance in 3 games this year. We've seen them both. Patrick Mahomes was a fucking monster in those 3 games that we saw his rookie season. He had over 360 yards passing in 2 of them, and he won all 3 games. We saw that. And all accounts during practice was, this guy's doing some fucking amazing shit. You guys have to see it. Trey Lance, he has not looked like anything. I take that back. I take that back. He has looked like a prospect, okay? Like we have, like he has to keep developing, like you said.
Right.
He's not going to be ready to go next year. I'm 100% confident, and but you have a Super Bowl team right now.
What is the contractual situation?
You can franchise Jimmy and bring him back next year,
for 1 year,
which will cost you a lot more.
But
Trey Lance is still on a rookie contract.
Exactly. Which is the recipe for having a successful NFL team.
Yeah, you can build around
You cannot. And why I say this, Jimmy G's gotten him here. He may get him past Sunday. He might even get him a Super Bowl, though I doubt it. But to commit more money and resources to him going forward is a mistake. They need to ride the rookie contract. They need to believe in development, and they need to continue to fortify this roster while they have the opportunity to with a quarterback on a rookie deal. That is the formula for progressing in this league.
No, it is.
Don't ignore that.
No. It is.
And here's the thing, and especially if they fall short, which is what I expect them to do.
Well, the Rams do have the better team.
And the Chiefs have the better team, and the Bengals might have the better team because they have the better guy at QB1. And this is the thing: you cannot fool yourself into thinking you have something you don't have. A lot of these guys are expendable, and if you somehow buy into Jimmy G not being expendable, it will be the downfall.
It could be
because like you said, you have the one option of franchising him, but that's going to suck up some resources.
It is.
Or, God forbid, you fucking extend the son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
And that's even worse.
Yeah.
You really don't have a choice here other than to let him go.
I don't think they would, but that'll tell you a lot what they think about
it
trade.
Sure will.
You know what I mean? But of course we know that's
maybe they need to trade him if that's
the case.
If he's that bad. Trade him before people really know he's that bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and, of course we know the Rams, they're doing what we thought they would do all along, but they struggled at times in the regular season.
Well,
what the hell
let's
are they
not
doing?
lose sight of the fact that they damn near did everything they could to give that game away.
I mean,
they dominated the Bucs for 2.5 quarters, maybe 3. The Bucs couldn't block them. The Bucs couldn't get them off the field defensively. Yeah. And then they decided to start handing the football over.
I mean, just handing it over.
4 lost fumbles.
Yeah.
I mean, the really ridiculous bad snap was one of them. 2 Cam Akers fumbles, and then a Cooper Kupp fumble. And who the F knows what the hell Antoine Winfield's thinking on the final, play. You're bringing pressure. You're isolated on a really good guy in the slot. They have no timeouts. Stay on top of that route.
You have to know.
Stay on top of the route. Play good situational football. I mean, maybe he catches it at the 40, the 35. Maybe it's a long field goal, after clocking it. But to let that guy get behind you and give the guy a chip shot.
It is Cooper Kupp now, the best receiver.
There's no excuse.
But there's no excuse.
He ain't Tariq Hill. He ain't Usain Bolt. He ain't Kylian Mbappe. You keep that motherfucker in front of you.
No. They tried to do everything they do to give up the game, but they are a talented roster.
They are.
But they have gaps like that, man, and it's crazy. You've seen it all throughout the regular season. God forbid Stafford gets into one of his spells. I mean, because he'll throw a couple pick sixes in a heartbeat. And with Jimmy G's luck, postseason lucky, which he has a good postseason luck. Who knows? Maybe this is going to be one of those games.
He's like the little freaking leprechaun at Notre Dame.
Because Aaron Rodgers turned into a fucking normal human being out there throwing the ball, and who knows? Matthew Stafford may have one of his spells this week, and he may throw 2 or 3 6.
Well, the interesting thing is that the Niners have beat the Rams twice this year.
Yeah, they said that this coach kind of Shanahan kind of has his
McVay's number.
Yeah, McVay's number. So
yeah,
we'll see, man. It's all about matchups and
it'll be a
schemes,
very intriguing game. Yeah,
because this is a closer. As far as competition and talent-wise, both teams, right? Because 49ers have a good team in the trenches. They have a really good offensive line, and they have Debo, right? But the Rams have a really good, pass rush, and they have some weapons as well with Cooper and Odell. But the Bucs, they had some injuries on the offensive line, right?
The Bucs were really devastated.
And they fully healthy. Their offensive line was middle of the road to decent. They had one guy.
They lost their best
offensive one. And the Rams have a devastating pass rush. That's not the case this week, guys.
Yeah.
The 49ers have one of the best offensive lines in football, and with relatively health. We know in the NFL everyone's hurt, but they have relative health, and they're one of the best offensive lines in football. So it's going to be a different game, I think.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, and through this, we talk about Jimmy G, but to me, the critical element of 49ers success in 2 of the last 3 years. Last year, honestly, they were just devastated by injuries.
Yeah.
They had no chance to compete. But you look at this last 3-year run, the biggest component is their work in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
They have Bosa at defensive end. He's a terror. They have other good people on that side of the ball. And then their offensive line, just moves people, manhandles people. Trent Williams is phenomenal. But the Niners' physicality, and you even go back to Jim Harbaugh's time there. When they're at their best, it's been rooted in trench physicality.
I like how they said, you got all these different styles, man, in the playoffs. Yeah. And I love how the 49ers style of play is way different than the Chiefs style of play.
Yeah.
But they both can work. It both can win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just awesome to see, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.